So my Tinkerbell roses are still going. The deer did come and eat a good little portion up here in the front. But then they moved on. And they didn't touch this one. So, and it's fixing to open up some more blossoms. And this is my lime tree. And it's actually looking okay. I put some compost in it, and because it was looking kind of puny. And I don't know when this thing may produce fruit or if it ever will. I hope it does, but we'll see. And that is my volunteer tomato. I have a lot of those this year. My lantana. This is my volunteer zinnias that just came up on their own and took over this bed. I have marigolds in there, but they're so blocked out. And I can't believe that the lantana this year didn't go like crazy. It's usually at least 5 foot tall by now. So the season's still young. And that's all being overshadowed by tomatoes. It's got a lot of different little things. This little vining, that tangerine sunrise is so pretty. And my brown-eyed Susans. The deer did not eat them this year. Now this one they've never eaten, but they've always eaten that one, and they didn't eat it this year. And they are showing out. And then all these tomatoes. I planted 6 tomato plants up here, y'all. And then that's more lantana, and it's just there. But I've got to get out here. Look at all that red. I have a lot of tomatoes to pick. And our little bee habitat, and that's my goldenrod. I actually bought a goldenrod plant this year to have to harvest from. And those are little yellow cherry tomatoes in there. And this it's a mint. Oh, there's my hummingbird. Hi, how are you? I love it. And there were some lilies in there. And anyway, this is just volunteers every year now, and the bees love it. So I just let it be. And the deer hate it. They don't mess with it. So, and since it's outside the fence. And I do have some cabbage moths, but because I still have cabbages in there, at this point they're like a trap crop for me. And I'm just leaving it to hold place because I'm going to re-sow cabbages for the fall. And there's my strawberry towers. They have done really well this year. I need to fertilize them. And this is my lavender here is looking really good. I did lavender because deer hate it. There's lantana. I forget what that one was called. There's a lot of weeds that come in behind these beds. The deer, it's supposed to be deer resistant, but they eat it every year anyway. I did creeping rosemary, and I have creeping thyme because the deer hate it. And I keep getting poke salad coming up and everything. So it's a constant battle with the poke salad. And I'm worried about my peony. It didn't bloom. It looks like it's dying. And I don't know if it's because this volunteer tomato just popped up in this bed and has lost its mind. I don't know. I have zinnias coming up now. Sunflower back there coming up. And my bergamot is still going, but it's starting to peter out a little bit. But boy, do the bees love that. So, I see a couple strawberries there. And so, yeah, so this is this on the outside. And we do have, well, looks like John cut them all down. We have a lot of wild blackberries that are coming up in this area. Yeah, it looks like he cut them down. And so these are our muscadines. This is the trellis he built. And we still have a deer fence here. And I think they've nibbled a little bit on them. We've had a little pest pressure, but nothing too bad. And that's more elderberries I have. That was a propagation from last year. And see, that's blackberries. that are coming up. And so here's some of our muscadines. So they are, I think they're digging the trellis, because last year it was just a mess. We had like a tomato cage. And look at these. So I am super duper excited for our muscadine harvest. And now we have muscadines back there with the honeysuckle. We have muscadines growing in that as well. So, and you know, y'all, I have been thinking, I don't know, maybe reminiscent about my childhood. So my wall here, my privacy wall we built, I'm actually thinking about putting a clothesline. So I could hang clothes, like well, I guess towels, but like our blankets, our big blankets. Because the dogs can't get in here. And the deer don't come usually up in this area. And it's still kind of private. But I have thought about it. I don't know. I have to talk to John about it. I'm sure he'll love that. Another project. Okay, so we're back around. Now this garden is just crazy. And yes, I have broccolis. Like I said, I've just kind of let this stuff go. This is this is a 3-year-old echinacea. It has been going, and I have dahlias in here. That's blueberries and a lot of weeds, but the blueberries we thought were dead, but they're not. I can see they're alive. All of the sunflowers in this bed, self-seeded. We have a few little jalapenos. Those are mine. The dill, it's going to seed. This was a little cherry tomato. It's kind of seen better days, but it's there. This is nasturtiums and brassicas, and this has just been getting kind of eat up, and I've allowed this to get eat up, hoping that the rest of the stuff doesn't get eat up, and to have something in the soil, because when I tear this out and replant it for fall, that's kind of my plan. That is some more spaghetti squash and some beans. I picked some. I can see it's got more of those jade beans. Maybe this evening I can get out here and pick a little bit. I have to be careful bending. John's been trying to do a lot of the picking. This is my my orange tree and my lemon tree and my olive tree. I've got 3 trees in here that we still have to plant this fall. This is more mint, a bucket of mint. That is parsley. This is marshmallow. Wow, it's liking this in here. There's snapdragons in here. That's oregano. And then I have I think it's Swiss chard I planted. I think it's chard and some radishes right here. The radishes should be getting close to being done. And look, there's more strawberries hanging down. Creeping thyme, rosemary, dill. These are leeks. I've just never had much luck with the leeks. And some celery. And this is the nasturtium craziness. There's still a few cabbages in there that are just kind of eaten up from pest pressure and all the things. Look at that, a little snail. Can you see that? And it's got a snail in there, and it looks like a little baby roly-poly. Well, y'all enjoy it, guys. That's the bad part about growing them in the strawberries in a bed. That, and they just start coming up everywhere. My peas, they're dead. And then the wall of cherry tomatoes. He keeps tying them up. We have U-post. And it makes it really challenging to get in here. We have more. Those are my paste tomatoes up there. They're starting to die. They're determinate, so they're, honestly, we're just letting them get red and ripe. And those are my Cherokee black beans. So some of these, they're not ready, but some of them, see, I could probably start picking some of those. And oh my word, look at that. Wow, we had a squash come out here. And I actually canned a lot of these as green beans, and now I want the black beans. So I'm just letting them do their thing. And there are some pepper plants up here. This is another cucumber. And it looks like it has a massive cucumber in the bed. This has not been the cucumber year for us. Yeah, that one is way overdue. Chickens will like that one because it's not supposed to be yellow. So, yeah, more of the bergamot. Let's see. I'm fixing to water in here. Oh yeah, there's some peppers. Can you see that? Oh. There we go. This is bee balm. And yeah, that bed needs some help. I don't know if let's see. Let me get in here. See, it's just hard to get in here. There's bees everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. Look at that. I honestly don't know if my beets ever... They look like they're still doing it. They're in there. So I just don't want to knock all this off. I need to get in there later though and check on those because I do have some beets still in there. And like this stuff, if you're gonna do lemon balm, put it in like a 20-gallon planter because this is a 6-foot bed and it's now 3/4 of the bed. And it's a beast. It's an absolute beast. Come fall, I may take it out and try to get it out and grow it in one of those containers because this is a lot of space that I could have used my trellis that I can't use it because of this. So, and then see, I'm just waiting for all those to turn. They're blushing. So anyway, this is our front garden. These are my elderberry. Well, what people call bushes, I call trees because these aren't done growing. These were cut at the end of February, beginning of March. Oh, mosquitoes. Waist high. We cut them every year. And those are also some thornless blackberries that propagated themselves right there. And so this is how tall this fence is, 8 foot. And I would say it's probably about 3 foot above that. So these are already about 11 foot tall. And they're still flowering. Now you can take the flowers and make tinctures and teas and stuff. They actually have a lot of medicinal properties that are good for like when you're sick, like you're actively ill, because elderberry, if you make elderberry syrup tinctures, it's really more for like a preventative, like you just take it every day. And as you can see, these are the berries. Now I will come out here and the ones that I can reach when they're fully formed, this one still has a little bit of berry production to go. I have my big blossom bags that I put on these and I leave them until it's time to harvest. And because the birds won't touch them in this, it's when they start turning purple that the birds will come and eat them. And believe you me, there'll be plenty for the birds on the top that I can't reach. So I am happy to share. I am totally happy to share. And so, yeah. But this, and if you can see the trunks, they just get thicker. But, and if you see, these are in mainly shade. I mean, they get a little bit of sun, but in the afternoon, but more shade than sun, and they do just fine. This is an area where sometimes they get wet feet. The water kind of drains through here and goes back to the cultivar in the back. So yeah, I just wanted to show that to you and show you that, one, if you have the flowers, you can totally take those and make a tincture, or you can dry them for tea, or if you have the green berries here, be watching them, and when they start looking like they're full of the berries, they're not going to produce any more, all the flowering is gone, that is when you probably want to start covering them, because if you don't cover them, you won't get anything. Hi, Mr. Dragonfly. Are you taking a bath? The heavens declare his glory. And that's not, his is not the dragonfly. His is the creator. But what a amazing specimen of his creation. So this is my backyard garden, and as you can see, I've got a lot of bee action on my pretty sickly cucumbers. They've pretty much spent their life, and I need to pull them out and reseed because I still have time to get another crop in. And these are all the different varieties of tomatoes that I planted out, and my peppers. I do have some blight going on some of these different tomatoes. I'm noticing that several of these were the German Johnsons, and they tended to get diseased. So I'm making notes of that for next year. These are my zucchini. They're both doing well and been producing lots of zucchini. These are my other beds. Those have my hybrid tomatoes and are doing well, and of course the corn. And yes, that's a raised bed with corn, and it's tasseling. So, and I actually succession sowed in that bed, and so we should have 2 different pickings out of that bed. And as you can see, I have a lot of blushing fruit and some fruit that's actually probably just about ready to pick. And when you go to pick tomatoes in particular, if you can pick it in about the heat of the day, they're going to have more flavor. You're going to get the best flavor profile. That's not always possible. And depending on how hot it is, it's not always advisable, but that is how you get the best flavor. These are my zinnias that I planted, and they are just beautiful. These are California giant zinnias, and there's just a lot of different ones in there. Some of these are German Johnson and some of them are Jubilee. I really like the Jubilee tomato. It's a great canning tomato. Has great flavor. I will say that plants have been a little bit sickly for us, so that is something I need to kind of watch. These Mexican sunflowers, you see all the butterflies. They are just absolutely gorgeous. I love them. And more peppers there. More tomatoes that I put over there once I took out my garlic and carrots. I will say that my rhubarb is not doing so hot.
I wanted to give an update on my 3 sisters raised garden bed. So this has corn. I have a block of corn. I have squash, and I have beans around the perimeter. And mine is a little bit different because my squash are summer squash, they're zucchini. My beans are bush beans, and my corn is a sweet corn. And so this was a trial to see how it would go, and it likes it right here. So far, so good, and I'm excited. And then over here is My other bed, I think I got 100% germination of my peaches and cream sweet corn over here. And these are my North Carolina mountain tomatoes. These took a while to get going, but oh my gosh, they have beautiful fruit. I am so excited about these. Lots of blooms. And those are my North Carolina peppers, and they're also doing well. And my lone rose tomato, she is doing all right over there. None of the basil I planted came up, so I'll probably find something else to put next to her. Maybe some more beans or something, but she's doing pretty good right now. And then this Loveliness, I think I will forever grow Mexican sunflowers if I can get my hands on them. I've had you get so many of them. And the butterflies, I've had butterflies all over this. And I love the little dwarf teddy bear sunflowers I did. So pretty. I mean, this bed has just been amazing. Amazing. This trellis, I wanted a pumpkin trellis. And I don't know exactly how I envisioned it, but hello. They're getting all pollinated. Look at these things. I'm pretty sure these are my Cherokee tan that I planted. And I think these are the honey boats. Whew. And those are some butternut squash. That is a spaghetti squash. I mean, I planted loofahs, but I don't know that I have any loofahs. If I do, I don't know where they might be. Look at this bad boy. I mean, he is huge. There. That's another spaghetti squash. I've already harvested one spaghetti squash because they were in earlier. They were started plants, and the rest were from seed. I thought that this is where I planted the loofahs. So maybe this one's a loofah. I don't know. But look at that. And then I have the spaghetti squash is passing away. So you can see all the yellowing in this one. And my peppers in here are doing really well. See, there's one that's about ready. So, yeah. I'm very happy with it. And I did this because I had beans here last year. I had bean beetles. Oh, it was terrible. And so I like to move things around. And so this was a good bed to do that in. And these are doing great in this bed. The tomatoes did not. We've taken all of those out. Peppers are doing okay. I'm thinking about putting okra right there. And this comfrey is insane. So, yes. And this zucchini just keeps going. It has pretty much taken over this whole bed. And the cucumbers are sickly. I need to take them out and re-sow them. Because I have enough time to get another crop in. And I have some growing up in the front garden. I just didn't plant as many. And see, this has got, you can see. You see that? Yeah. You need to die. And that's kind of what I've been doing is I come and I get them and I kill them. And if I see the babies, you know, I try to get those leaves out of here. But, I mean, I have to say, honestly, this year, I mean, I definitely have some blight going on over there. But for the most part, this has been a pretty phenomenal year in gardening. And these are probably the best I've ever had with brandywines. They're usually pretty challenging. They usually get very sick. And this one had a part that broke. See, this is still hanging here. We had some storms that came through. And I need to take care of that. But it broke part of this plant, and I thought, well, that's it. But no, I don't think so. So these are my red potatoes, and I got mine out late. These actually have another about 3 weeks in the ground. They have potatoes. I did like a little test of one. They're still pretty small, or at least up towards the top they were. So, and you see they're starting to lay down a little bit. They get a lot of shade. So we'll see. I'm hoping this isn't a bust because I got them out late. And it's one of the reasons I put them in this bed, because it is more shade than sun. And in this late in the season, I thought that was probably a better way to go. My rue bag of flowers is coming along. I can't wait to see all those cosmos. There's a lot of different colored ones. And then in those, my basil has not come up, but my beans came up. The tomatoes doing well. So I don't know. I'll think of something to put there. And look, this one is starting to come along. The what do you call that? The butterfly bush has struggled a bit, but the rest seem to be doing pretty well. So, and then that's the twin to the other one. And then those beds are just doing good. I never did plant any more pumpkin back there because the tomatoes went nuts, and I have all those okra there, and I didn't thin the okra. I'll rather get a lot more okra and they'll be fine. So I let them be. And then our watermelons. I don't know if we'll get one or not. The few years we've gotten them, they're about personal size, and we've had issue before when we were doing them up front in the ground with them getting blossom end rot. So this is a good bed with solid soil, so I don't know, we will see. But that, you guys, is my garden in mid-July. And yeah. Oh, I see a hummingbird. I don't know if you can see him, but I see him. Over there by those Mexican sunflowers. That is, oh, there he is. They're on my feeder. I made that feeder. It's a dollar store feeder I made with my kids' videos. Oh, how cool. I just love it. Feeling so blessed. Look, there he is. Hi, little thing. That's beautiful. I hope that showed up on camera. Oh, there's the other one. They're partners. I love it. I love it. And Miss Cookie is doing so much better this morning. My heart is overflowing. And my back is still sore, but it's a little bit better than it has been, and I am thanking Jesus. So anyway, I'm just standing. I'm in flip-flops. That's my corn in a raised bed. And this was old corn seed. It was Haas seed, so I felt like it was going to do okay, and I actually succession sowed in this bed. So I think we'll harvest some, and then we'll have a period of time, and then we'll get to harvest again. But look at that. That is amazing. Well, anyway, as I said, I am just feeling incredibly blessed this morning. Thankful that Cookie was up walking around this morning. She was eating. If she stays like this throughout the day, I will go ahead this evening and reintroduce her to the flock. And because they're usually more docile in the evening. And even the other night when I let her, they came and picked on her after I let her out. So I'm going to wait to do it that way. And I may even wait till they kind of go up and move her in. And just go from there. But so incredibly thankful at the mercy of God. His kindness is good. Oh my goodness. And look at here. This was a propagation I got from a friend. This is a crepe myrtle, but it's a Japanese variety, and look at it. It's gonna bloom. I want to plant this out in the property and not in a pot. And I think I know where I want to plant it. But I have to talk with John, but I think it would be a good place to plant it, and so we'll see. But I'm excited to watch and see that bloom. That's going to be a beauty. So anyway, with that, I am going to let you go. I hope you have a great day. I hope your gardening experience, if you garden, is going well. And if it's not, don't be discouraged. I know that's easy to say, but if I could tell you how many years that our gardens just were, not good at all. Weather wasn't good. We didn't know what we were doing. We thought we knew what we were doing, but didn't. Learning how to amend things, and just, it's a process. And yeah, so try not to be discouraged. Try to know it's a learning experience, and those learning experiences are so valuable. It's hard to put a price tag on them, So I'm on a lot of gardening forums and different things in my area, and it's always funny. People will come in and they'll have like a cucumber, 2 beans, and a wonky looking tomato, and they're like, sustainability. Getting a little worried about it. Don't know if it's gonna work for me. And I get it. Or the ones where it said, built a garden, $1,000, 1 tomato, priceless, or something like that. And so I get it. Been there, done that. And so anyway, just try to keep at it. And I would really encourage you to consider growing fall crops, because fall gardening is so much easier than summer gardening, and much more enjoyable. You're getting a lot of really good vegetables, and you can really grow them, and you don't have to grow as much. You could grow it on a smaller scale to play around with it, but super duper easier to do than gardening in the summer, and a good place to start. I see another bean beetle. So with that, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.